All right, so let's talk about the stomach. All right, so this is the stomach. Right here is the esophagus, and that's where the esophagus is coming into the stomach. There's different parts of the stomach. This top part here is called the fundus. This little like bubble up here. Top here, the body is here. And the pylorus is here. And then the antrum is here. All right, we've got this, let's see, you can see here, this is kind of showing this is the muscular layers. So you've got a longitudinal muscular layer, a circular muscular layer, that's the normal within the muscularis externa, but then you also have this extra oblique muscular layer, and you can see that here. The stomach has the ability to stretch a lot, and it has a bunch of little like wrinkle things in it called rugae, and they're like little folds. And these rugae can kind of stretch out as the stomach stretches out to accommodate a bunch of food, and then it kind of goes back in as little wrinkles again when the food is digested and exits through the pylorus. You've got the serosa here. Got these the curves here, the greater curvature, the lesser curvature here, and then the serosa there. So the mucosal layer, the inner layer of the tube here, again, the same layers as everywhere else, but it's going to look a little bit different. So you've got your little rugae here, and then within that are these things called gastric pits. So here, 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 and here, and they kind of delve into the surface of the stomach there, the stomach lining. And inside there are a bunch of cells. Okay, so I'm going to kind of draw out what that looks like closer so you can see it better. There are glands in there and cells that make hydrochloric acid and all of that, so we'll show that. And then below that, you've got blood vessels, and then this is within the you've got the mucosa here, and then the submucosa here within this connective tissue, and then you've got the muscularis mucosae, and then the connective tissue layer down here. This is in the peritoneum, so it is serosa. So the stomach lining, if you look at it closely, so if this is the lumen, let's see. So that's the lumen, and I'm going to make a gastric pit. So there's cells here, and these are simple columnar cells. So they've got little nuclei there. And then there's cells on this side too. Okay, so this is what I'm kind of drawing here, this gastric pit. The gastric pit reaches down to here. So this to here is the gastric pit. Okay. And below there are some different things. You've got down here in the connective tissue here, you've got what we call mucus cells or mucus neck cells. Because mucus is made, they secrete mucus up, and it basically comes up here and it covers the top here. Mucus is covered all over here, okay? And so these are secreting that. And then also in there are let's use a different color, I think. There's a better color. Okay. So also there are these little cells called parietal cells. These are called parietal cells. And these cells are what make hydrochloric acid. Okay, got hydrochloric acid in the stomach that helps to digest food, right? So I've got hydrochloric acid there. And then below that, or near that, are these other cells and these are called chief cells. Chief cells, and that's these little purple cells here. And the chief cells secrete something called pepsinogen. Okay, so pepsinogen, when it is secreted into the lumen and it combines with hydrochloric acid, it creates a substance called, something called pepsin. And pepsin is like an enzyme that digests or chemically digests protein. So enzyme to digest or break down protein. Okay, so protein digestion, chemical protein digestion starts in the stomach. Okay, carbohydrate breakdown starts in the mouth, and there is no amylase in the stomach, so carbohydrates do not further break down in the stomach. Okay. All right, another type of cell that is in here are G cells. And G cells secrete a hormone called gastrin. So gastrin is a hormone secreted by the stomach, goes into the blood, and it actually targets the stomach and some of the accessory organs to do certain things. Okay, so under here, we have that little layer the muscularis mucosae, that's that layer here, and that's porous smooth muscle. And then under that, I'm trying not to draw over what I wrote here, but this is the dense irregular connective tissue of the submucosa. And then you have 3 layers how to make the other layer, but you have 3 layers of the muscularis mucosae. Or externa, and then below that is the serosa. Okay, so all this here down to the muscularis mucosae, I meant to put externa here. Sorry. So muscularis mucosae, this is the mucosa. So all that here is the mucosa. So again, here's our epithelial tissue here. We have epithelial tissue there. And, you know, again, it looks weird, but it's still the same layers there. And the only thing different in the stomach is the extra layer of the oblique muscular layer here. Okay. So that's basically what the stomach looks like. And we're going to talk about how hydrochloric acid is actually made by these parietal cells.